Hi, I'm Bobby Peer with TAPinto, and I'm here today with Chrissy Floegel from Corcoran Real Estate. Welcome, Chrissy.
Thank you, Bobby. How are you?
I'm awesome, and I'm excited about the topic we're going to talk about. We're talking about summer vacation. I
Yes.
don't usually talk about vacation, so I'm really excited to learn about your territory and why we are expanding to the Hamptons. So tell me a little bit about your, I guess, background and your real estate and why are we talking about the Hamptons?
All right. Well, first of all, to all of my Summit friends, I want to say thank you because the 20 years we lived in Summit were magical and wonderful, and always feel very thankful for that. And while we were in Summit, I was always fortunate to be able to keep a foot out in the Hamptons, which is where I grew up. And it's always been a very special place for myself, my children, our families, and just great memories, a great place to exhale and just create new moments. And it's just a special place. And I know many of my Jersey friends go to the shore, but there are a handful that go to the Hamptons, and always people were often intrigued by, oh, the Hamptons and what's it like. And I recently becoming recently became a realtor about a few months ago, and I thought this is a great opportunity to kind of reach out to my Summit friends and invite them to come experience the Hamptons.
Now, tell me a little bit about the Hamptons market and where are the go-to, I guess, or
Okay.
beach areas that people from New Jersey would be interested in experiencing that type of vacation?
Okay. Well, when you're the Hamptons is definitely more quiet. Like there aren't boardwalks and things like that you might find. I know the Jersey Shore has a little bit of both on the areas. Most of the Hamptons, what's special about it, the beaches are phenomenal, quiet, um, but just absolutely beautiful and beautiful sand. But there are several villages throughout. So beginning in West Hampton Beach all the way out to Montauk, you'll find different villages, and each village has its own personality. So depending what you're looking for, you can find something in each area. Of course, I favor West Hampton Beach because that's where I grew up, and I do like that it's accessible to New York City. So if you're a family that's looking to be able to stay out there for a month, or and someone in the family or your children or a spouse or a partner needs to go back and forth, then West Hampton Beach could be a great option because there's a small airport, there's the train, and it's very accessible. It's about 2 hours, from New Jersey. Whereas if you're going to plant yourself for a month and not have to go back and forth, then any of the Hamptons would be your options all the way through Montauk, because you don't have to deal with any traffic, and the summer traffic of course is tough, especially heading toward Montauk on the weekend, Friday nights and Sundays coming back.
And so when you rent a house in the Hamptons, I mean, I've been out to the Hamptons, but I've never vacationed there. I'm assuming I vacationed in Martha's Vineyard while
Yes.
my kids were so young. I kind of expect it to be similar to that, where the houses are a little more separate, you have privacy. Um, Maybe you might need to get in your car to go to the beach. How does that work?
It really depends what is your priority. Like, are you looking for a house that's a bike ride to the beach? Are you looking for a house so you can walk into town? Are you looking for a house? I would say many of the homes are a little off the beach, where you may want to need a car ride to the beach. And depending on your access and the actual location where you rent, your rental permit may come with a beach permit. Your rental lease
Okay.
you may be accessible to get. There's a village beach permit, or the town of Southampton beach permit is, I think it was 40, maybe up to $50 for multiple beaches along the shore. Then if you are in a village beach, you may have access to the village beach if your rental's in an actual one of the villages. So it really does depend, and that's where a realtor could help you navigate
I
that.
was gonna say, that would be the benefit of using a realtor over, I know VRBO is popular in the
Yes.
Airbnb, but you
You have to
don't
figure a lot
get,
out on your own. Right. Right.
yeah,
And even I actually used to rent my home in West Hampton, and if people needed, sometimes people need bikes or sometimes people want extra floats for the pool and things like that. Like it's really nice to have the help of a realtor to just help navigate. And there are public beaches also, just going back to the beach access, because it is very different than, say, like I spend a lot of time in California during the winter too. And those beaches are very accessible. Like you can just drive on to California beaches. And Long Island is not like that. Like you definitely do need to navigate. It's accessible, but you have to get a beach permit or pay daily parking. And you can bring a carload for people at certain beaches. And all of that's information that we would give, that you'd be given if you were renting. And it's all doable, but it is something to navigate. Mm.
awesome. Well, growing up in West Hampton, can you tell me a few of like the secret gems of the area?
Well, actually, it's funny because the secret gems are probably the simplest things. Like one of the best things that we do in the summer, as when I came out just for the summers, or now that I live there again year round, is staying at the beach after 5 o'clock. Because at around 4:30, 5 o'clock, most of the beaches start to pack up and head back to the cars, go back home for showers. And that's a nice night. Then go into town, get ice cream, or, go home and for a barbecue. But the best nights, and it could be on any beach that you're at, but is to just stay and bring some supplies to stay. Like sometimes bring a lantern or a few candles or battery candles, and stay until the sun goes down. Bring a game to play or some cards to play at the beach, and order food or bring food and staying. And as the sun sets and the stars come out, it's actually a gem that's available along the entire coast, but it's one of the best. It's one of the just the best things. And then also another thing that I found now living there, that like we have more time to do also, is just catching the sunsets. And of course, we're on the East Coast, but if you go to a spot where the bay is, or just a waterway or one of the bridges, and you see the sunset over the water, it's just absolutely stunning and it's beautiful. And that's actually true in the summer and in the fall. It's just very peaceful, and it's so simple, but I don't know, but it's magical. We'll try to catch it every day. Like some people, that's their, you have to catch the sunset, and it's just really neat.
Yeah. So it's really that savoring getaway
Yes.
versus the Jersey Shore boardwalk and arcades and that sort of
Yes.
vacation.
I kind of equate it to like my favorite nights as a mom with my children. It was the nights or the snow day that we were all stuck home, and we just ended up playing a board game and turned off the TV. And before all this technology, and we actually finished the game of Monopoly, or if played cards, and it ended up playing for hours, or just chatted all night and just had fun just being together.
Mm.
And I feel like that's because there's like some people might say, oh, there's not a lot to do, but that's kind of the gift of the Hamptons. I feel like, because what you have to do is walk through the village, grab an ice cream cone. If you like to go out, of course, there's places to dine or have a drink with your friends, and you can make of it what you want. And backyard barbecues, like a lot of the nightlife could be swapping homes, and who goes to which home, and hosts, and it's just special. It's simple but special. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I want to go now.
Come on out. You are welcome anytime.
What would you recommend? I know that rentals probably get grabbed by families quickly. So if you want to rent for a summer getaway,
Yes.
what would you recommend timing wise as far as getting in touch?
Right. This is the time. So definitely reach out. Like I'd love to help you, or, if you have somebody else that's your connection to the Hamptons, but of course I'd love to help you find some place. Um, in terms of rentals, there's still some available. It is kind of the peak time right now to have more options. There will
Right.
be stuff available as time goes on, but then you may be further from the beach, or, not near the town, or, but most rental homes have a pool. There's some that don't. And again, the price will vary depending on, what you're looking for. But if you want to get it all, the pool close to the beach, near town, bikes in the garage, those are the ones that are going to go first. And those are, those are the, like, now is the time to definitely reach out to grab that. And if
Great.
anybody's looking to buy in the Hamptons, there's not a ton of inventory right now, so that is challenging. But if you are ready to buy, the interesting thing is that if you buy something, you could either enjoy it all yourself or your family, but the market is so strong with rentals that many people pay their bills by renting for 1 or 2 of the months, like say May or June, or say June, July, and then the family enjoys it for August, September, October, or vice versa, so it is an interesting opportunity for people to kind of buy a home that does kind of pay its fees itself. Taxes are very low in
Okay.
in the Hampton often, because 50 to 70, I don't quote me exactly, but it's about 50 to 70% of the population are summer homes. So we don't have the needs for year-round, all of the services of, there's extra police get hired in the summer. So it's just for those few months. And the fire departments are volunteer. They're just the schools. The schools is the biggest cost of any town. But since most of the homes are vacation homes, the schools are supported by a broader base of taxes. So it's actually a very good investment for people. And the carrying costs can really be covered with, with a rental, if that's something, and again, you hire a realtor to help you with that. And it's very little work on the homeowner's part. So.
You haven't seen the real estate market change. I know over the past few years, the inventory has been very low,
Yeah.
especially in the Summit, New Providence, Berkeley Heights.
Mm-hmm.
So it's similar in the Hamptons.
Yeah, it is similar. And trying to find, especially that, say in the Hamptons, I would say under the 2 million mark is very difficult to find. And especially something that doesn't need, a complete rehab or a tear down. And it is challenging to find that.
Can I ask one more question? So for the broader audience, is there different levels of rentals that anyone could possibly afford? So obviously you have the larger homes, but
Mhm.
there are smaller bungalows.
There's cottages, like, and again, some of those go quickly, but there's like a few, like throughout the towns, there are places that have just that small cottage, that might be a 1 bedroom cottage or even a 1 room cottage. And, but again, that goes quickly too, and then homes, again, even if you look and maybe we're not able to find something right this moment, in another month, somebody may decide to put their home on, to rent between now and then. So, but there are different levels, and definitely if you want to be on the ocean, that's a premium. So the homes that are on the ocean definitely get a premium rate versus someone who's willing to, drive to the beach, which most of the homes people are driving to get to the ocean.
I
So,
think people are used to that with
right.
the store prices, and
Yes.
so it isn't surprising.
Right.
And I think the answer is get moving now so you can
Absolutely.
our dream getaway all booked. And
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely something to experience though. And even Montauk, like, is kind of the, like, it's its own thing. And just being able to walk around the lighthouse and on the rocks, and the other part of Long Island, if you're in the Hamptons, you can visit the vineyards on the North Shore, and the beach over on that side, on the Sound side, is completely different than the ocean side. And people love that area too. And it's fun if you have young children to be able to collect all the little rocks. And it's so many magical places. But again, it's simple, beautiful, magical. It's just very special.
that's amazing. Well, I definitely want to get out there this summer. So
Well, you have a place to stay, so come on out anytime.
thank you. And we'll talk soon.
All right, Bobby, thank you so much. All right, and take care. All right.